Hey, subdivision update time. So, subdivision, yeah, it's still there. And the geotech guys said, yeah, it'll take us 2 weeks to get there and do the drilling, another 2 weeks to do the report, month, fine. Here we are 2 months later, well, almost 2 months later, and I chased them and I chased them and I chased them. Anyway, I finally got it yesterday. Yesterday? No, day before. And read it right through, beginning to end, and I'm not a experienced geotech engineer, whatever they are. And so it was a bit of hard reading, but read through it, and basically he's put conditions around the foundations and how they get done on 2 of our blocks. He's put conditions around a couple other things, and he's not been as helpful as he possibly could, but not as bad as we possibly could. So anyway, that went to the council, and the council are now happy. The council still want to push it down the full discretionary with appeals kind of path, which means we have to go to the Alderman and make our case in front of them and see what planning says. But at this stage, we've got a in principle agreement from the people who did make complaints or representations that they will take them away once we have covered them off. Now, one of them was about our road. We made a slight rearrangement to the road and came to an agreement about how that would go and how we would handle the edges of that. That went quite well. It's not ideal for us, but it's a good compromise. I'm okay with that. So the other one was about landslip concerns from a couple of the other neighbours, one in particular, and there's some history there and some reasons why they're concerned about that. So basically we've had that all assessed here, and the geotech guys say there's limited to no risk of landslide, particularly as it is now. You put a heavy building on some fill, of course it's going to move somewhere, so they've said you have to cut the fill in a certain way, return it in a certain way, a couple other things. So basically they've said, providing you comply with this sort of arrangement on these 2 blocks and you don't do anything too silly elsewhere, which was never our plan, we're trying to do fairly minimal earthworks anyway, they're happy that we're not risking any landslide. So theoretically everyone should be happy now. We'll see what happens. We've got the rest of this kind of week. My planner's getting onto it on Monday to talk to their planner and to talk to the council and talk to everyone. But frankly, at this stage, I'm almost not worried about going to talking to the Alderman. I mean, we're doing a really decent development. We're not going super small. We could put almost, maybe not double, but close to the amount of blocks on there. We could really squeeze these and put, much smaller blocks and still comply. Mightn't be the silliest idea in the world, but we are trying to create a quality product and not really mess with the fabric of that neighbourhood. Smaller blocks aren't what's there now, though it is starting to infill. I mean, we've got townhouses nearby, we've got some development going on right next to us, which has got 3 townhouses going in, so that sort of stuff is happening, and there is certainly infill there. So there's a case for density. Anyway, so the thing now is to get through the last stage of the DA approval, get that finally done. We've had these massive delays due to just waiting for geotechnical reports that, otherwise our council wouldn't have actually required. It's all done now. So once we get that through, it'll be a matter of getting the right contractors in place, tendering that out, doing our final engineering designs, and working that out. Anyway, my kids are getting restless in the background, so it's time for us to go find some dinner and see what we can do. Talk to you later. Bye.